Why, hello, and welcome to part 3 of the Suburban family estate. This is the final part of the series, so it doesn't seem to like it has taken as long as other series, but this one actually, it has been less. Because this will have been uploaded on Wednesday instead of Saturday. I was about to say that a former tradition of me recording with my cat Sugar on my desk next to me has been brought back, but then she got up and left me. So that will not be the case for this video. I was actually kind of excited about that, because I used to always have her sit next to me in her little bed whenever I would record, and then, yeah. But for this build, I will be finishing decorating the entire rest of the house, which I'm starting off in the master bedroom, and then I'm going to decorate all 3 bedrooms upstairs, plus the bathroom and this little, landing at the top of the stairs. And then in the basement, I will be decorating the guest room, the bar/kitchenette, the rec room, unfinished storage room, and the gym. And this house, I was finishing it up right as the gym update came out, and I didn't really know what all to include with the gym after the update, because I still have not taken a full look at everything in the update. I know that it came out a month ago, but I am still yet to actually do something with it, which I don't really make gyms that often. I did make one in this house, and if I make a large house, chances are there's a gym in it, but on a regular basis, I don't usually make that. Since this house will be coming out on Wednesday, I will have a new series. Again, it will be probably a 3-part, like this one, which I honestly like recording 3-part series, because it's kind of nice to draw it out and just over time watch the house being built, because 2.5 weeks, that's about how long it took for the latest house I made, but this one was closer to a month because I just was off and on building it and wasn't really consistent. But it eventually got finished and it turned out pretty good. So, but the next house will be coming, like I said, on Saturday, probably. Yeah, it'll be Saturday. I don't really have an excuse to not have it Saturday. That means I'm just gonna have to do a lot of editing on Friday. Because I know I've said a few times that I have a 1,000 subscribers special that has been in the works for a while. That I am planning to post on Friday, So I guess this week Thursday will be have Wednesday we'll have a video, Friday we'll probably have one, Saturday we'll have one. So I feel like that's kind of to make up for my 2 months of doing nothing. Literally all of April and all of May I just did absolutely nothing on here. But I'm back now, trying to make up for it with consistency. This special video, I don't want to... If you do know what it is, you better keep your mouth shut for 2 days. But it is a bit different than what I usually do, so I will say that. I've had some fun recording it, and it's definitely been an interesting experience with editing. But I've had fun because I've kind of wanted to do this for a while now. And if you've been around on my channel for a while, then you might have an idea of at least the style of what I'm going to be doing for this. But if you don't, that's fine. You'll find out soon enough. I've already said a lot. That's nice. I've kind of noticed that at this point of recording, I don't know if it's because I'm recording this an hour earlier than I usually do, because I'm usually 11:30 recording a voiceover and it is 10:20. But I just feel I just feel a bit more comfortable recording this. Like when I started recording voiceovers at like the end of November last year, which seemed, I don't associate 2022 with recording voiceovers. I only did 2 of them, but I kind of associate that with the whole like 2023 group of builds, which I do need to get my I do need to get a bit more out, because again, in like 5.5 months last year I was able to upload 10, and this year I've done 5 in 6 months, excluding 2, so technically 5 and 4, which is still worse. But I do have technically 3 builds that are done or almost done. There's gonna be a lot coming out now, which means I'm gonna have to do things to actually talk about for voiceovers. But I can make do. As long as I get to be like this, where I'm actually recording at a decent time, and I'm not sounding loopy or just not making any sense when I'm recording. Sugar, you can come sit with me. She's looking on the couch where her bed was, and I moved it over here. She'll figure it out eventually. I could talk about my cat, but I feel like if y'all want me to talk about that, just tell me, and I will. But for the sake of this voiceover, I can talk about decorating a little bit. All 3 bedrooms upstairs kind of look the same, or at least the 2 that weren't the nursery. Now, I kind of feel like all of the traditional style homes that I do, which how I categorize traditional is if I use cloudy gray or light stone gray for the walls, if I do more of like a brown color scheme or more of a gray. I know recently I've done a lot more of this with the cloudy gray walls and like bright lighting, the beige carpet. And given like the next, and I will have another build similar to this coming out soon, it would kind of seem that like this is one of my more favorite styles to do, but I actually don't really enjoy making this type of house, which is kind of weird because I do it rather often. Honestly, my kind of favorite style to do is like the chic modern farmhouse, which I've already said that a billion times. I'm not a fan of the modern farmhouse, but I actually enjoyed making that. And really the modernized transitional home, which was the only the second no game pass I've done, but it was the one from November in my first voiceover, where I was not making any sense that whole time. But if that house wasn't no game pass, I would have had more fun making it, but I just really like that style. And I did finish another one coming soon. I know that I have, I don't know if to talk about this a lot or not, because I don't know when I'm going to be getting around to posting it, but I have finished it, which is surprising. But the house costs just above $150,000, which is like, huh? Because I haven't even done a, actually, now I don't know if that is with the car or without the car. I'll have to double check on that, but it is, if it is with the car, it's like right around $200,000, which is still a vast improvement from my $760,000. That's kind of become more of the normal. But yeah, I've got cheaper build in the work, and after I finish this voiceover, which is probably not going to take too long, I'll probably record for another 10 minutes or so, I will finish recording the special video, which will be coming soon. But for now, I can talk about the build. So this bedroom again is basically just a carbon copy of the other one. It's just kind of how I just distinguish between like a quote-unquote teen room and a kid room. And why would I say that? I don't know. But like the main distinguishing feature is if I use toys, which is kind of like, But if I do like crates with toys and I'll put like a stuffed animal on the bed, that's kind of my way of saying this is a kid room. But if there's like a desk with a computer, that's more of a way of saying this is a teen room. Sometimes I'll do a bit of both, depending on the house. Like if it's a 5-bedroom house, I might do both. If it's a 4-bedroom house, chances are there'll be just a generic room, which I always like to do just a room that doesn't necessarily, like one that you can't say this is a teen room or a kid room. It's just a bedroom with more of like a guest room look, I would guess, because the amount of things that people will do in role plays in houses in Bloxburg is just, it's endless. You've got the people that want to be like, I've rarely seen in public servers before I actually started, like before I had a neighborhood in public servers, I would just kind of keep the chat open and watch it while I would build. And some of the things that people do in public servers are just, if you didn't know the context of where it was happening, it would seem very concerning. But one thing I don't see a lot is like grandparents in the roleplays. But I always like to include a guest room because you never know. There could be someone that's like, oh, we can be the family coming in to stay, the aunt, the uncle coming in to stay. Or there's always that one person that wants to be a maid, and the guest room is a nice place just to say, hey, this can be your room. So I kind of like to make houses versatile for, ooh, look at me getting fancy. Just like well adapted to no matter what roleplay you want to do in the house. Which that to me is what makes a good house, when you can just use it for anything and it would still work. And I have tested out a few of mine, and I know that the crafts, all of the family homes should be fine. I've heard from Alex, who I made this for, that he just loves this house, which I'm not saying that to make myself look better, but hey. But like, he's done a few RPs in it, and from what I've heard, it's been really nice. That's kind of something I feel like either, like just RPing as a whole, is like you either do it or you don't. Which I know that's like, wow, Jack, that's like you either breathe or you don't. Wow, so like genius. But I feel like there's not really that in between. And now that I'm saying that, I realize that most people are probably the in-between. That like you build occasionally, you RP occasionally. But from what I've heard from others, it's either like you do or you don't. There'll be the person that has only a clothing rack on their plot. And I'm like, I know you're using that just to change your character for whatever RP you're doing. And then there's the big elaborate house and the person standing in front being like, anybody want to roleplay? But like, I don't know where I'm getting with this. I thought I had a point there, and then apparently not. This upstairs as a whole, it's kind of weird with this house, because most of my houses that I do, the upstairs and the downstairs are kind of connected somehow, where like either all the bedrooms are upstairs, or there's like an open living room that kind of connects the two, and this one was kind of neither, because the staircase for going upstairs was kind of off to the side instead of just being near the front door, and the the main floor as a whole was just kind of chopped up, and you have like the separate dining room and the office and the pantry. But like other houses, it's just kind of one big space. But this one's kind of different, and I kind of like it. Because the upstairs, it feels like you're in a separate space. Which it's almost like the kid space and then the parent space. Since the main floor has the master bedroom and then like all of the basic stuff. And then upstairs is just guest rooms. Or if you are RPing, then you have kids' rooms. I'm working on the basement bathroom now. and it's basically just a copy of the one from upstairs. I like to do this typical 4-piece bathroom where you have your like vanity with the sink, the toilet, and then the tub shower combination, because it's just kind of a standard look. That sometimes I'll include a double vanity, but most of the time it's that 3x2 bathroom. And kind of another thing that I would distinguish from a quote-unquote kid room to a guest room is most of the time the guest room will have like a larger bedroom, and there'll be a door that like connects it to the bathroom. So like this bedroom down here, it's about the same size as the master bedroom, but it's kind of toned down in decorations. There's a double bed, and it connects to the bathroom. So I guess I would classify that as a guest room. But now I am working on the kitchenette / bar. Originally I wanted to do something similar to that of the chic modern farmhouse, but I kind of lost that a little bit. I just did like the basics with the cabinets and the counters, and then the more I started putting stuff down there, I'm like, this is not the same. And I honestly didn't really know where to put a counter. Didn't know like if to put it in the middle or on the wall. I was just kind of like, I did put it in the middle here, and then I moved it to the wall, and I'm like, this works better. It's kind of off to the side. Like if you want to have a little eating area, it's there, but it's not taking up the entire room. Which that's kind of the main thing. If I do just kind of blank out while I'm speaking, it's because I'm reading the chat, because there was a lot going on when I was making this. But another thing, like, wait, what was I talking about? I'm so good at this. Look at me go. I was talking about the kitchenette bar. Oh, like one thing, if I would do like some type of tips series of like what like do's and don'ts when building in Bloxburg. Don't fill up the entire room with furniture, because you still want to have like space to walk around. Which I know that most of my living rooms that I do, I put a giant coffee table in the middle and it takes up the whole space. But there's still spaces around the side that you can walk around. So like, I never understood when people have like a 3x3 living room and they fit an entire sofa in with a coffee table and chairs and a fireplace. And I'm like, how are you supposed to get around? And that's what I did not want to do for this kitchenette. I'm just realizing that this footage... Hang on, I'm gonna check when this footage date was, because I honestly want to know how long it's been since I finished this. Alright, the last part was May 25th. Dang. So I finished this house on my half birthday. Neat. I did have, when I was making this house for the basement, I did have a lot of indecision for... I said indecision and my brain just said indigestion. Off topic. But I didn't really know where to put the living room area of the basement, and I didn't really know what to do for the furnishing. Because I'm like, I kind of wanted to do theater chairs, and to just use like the sectionals and place like a bunch of chairs there. But it kind of looked weird and it never really flowed right. And I was like, okay, I'll put a regular sectional here. And then I realized that it was up against a wall, and then the doors were on the complete opposite side. Which in hindsight, I probably should have kept the layout like this. But then I did move it back over towards the door. I put it in between the windows for the screen. And I think that layout worked better in the time, but now that I'm thinking about it, it probably would have been best just to have the TV over on the side where I started it. Because, like, if you're watching a movie in the basement, if I refer to something like if you're doing this, it's probably, I'm thinking about something you do in real life. But like watching a movie in your basement, you'd want to kind of be in a darker area, and having it by the doors would not really be adequate for that. And the way the walls are here with like the doorways and everything, it makes sense for the couch to be in that place. And for some reason I said, nope, I don't like this, and I moved it over there to where it is in the tour. Which, okay, now that I'm seeing it, that's not as bad as I thought it was. I did put the chairs there, and it filled up the space better than not doing that. This was the part where Alex was like, can you please fill in the roof? And I was kind of like dismissing it a little bit, like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then I'm finally just like, fine, I'll do it. I think I mentioned this in a previous voice, and probably like the part 2 voiceover, but I'm very much if like someone keeps persistently like telling me to do something, or like don't do this, or like you should do this, do it, then I just become less and less reluctant, or like more and more reluctant to do it, and like less. It's kind of a little bit of a rebellious side to me, which never really happens, but when it's like, if someone's like, don't do this, I'm like, well, now I want to do it. Bad example. Okay, I did think up something for it. It's like if someone's telling you, do the laundry, like, put up your clothes, and then the more I'm being told it, I'm like, now I don't really want to do that. And that was kind of the case with this. And I did get a little bit frustrated, but I'm like, you know what, it's literally covering up a roof, it's not that big of a deal. And I did it, and it was fine. Ooh, I'm working on the unfinished storage room. I absolutely love unfinished storage rooms. They are the best room in any house, and I do not care what anyone else says. Like, just look at that with the pillars and the planks. It's like unfinished framing. And then if you want the space, you can tear up that gorgeous plywood and just make another bedroom. Because everyone needs a 6-bedroom house. Honestly, if I had this house and I were to turn the unfinished storage room into something, what would I make it? It'd probably be some type of like little yoga room, because they added all that yoga stuff with the new update. And like I said, I'm still yet to do anything with it. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have like a dedicated yoga room. If not, maybe like a craft room or something. Which now I want to make a craft room. I've had a desire for a while to make just an absolutely massive, like typical Pinterest family mansion. More of the thing you'd see for like the family vlog channels. Why was that so hard to say? Where they're like inside a tour of our 8-bedroom mansion. Just something along the lines of that. And I kind of was gonna make that for this house, and then the one I made after this, and I never really did either. They just kind of became their own things, and I'm perfectly fine with that because they turned out great. But I still have that desire to just make a house with like 6 bedrooms, like a yoga room, a craft room, 2 like multiple offices, a separate bar area. Just kind of, I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Lukaiokas's Hamptons mansion, and that's just kind of what I think of, because that house just has so many like unnecessary rooms, but they're just kind of neat to have. It's like, yeah, this house has a yoga room. Oh yeah, I had to cover up the roof, like I mentioned before, and I kind of wanted to turn it into something that actually looked good. So with the shape, I used beams to go down into the electrical box, and then kind of made something out of that. So I think that turned out nice. Now that I'm looking at it, I am 25 minutes into this voiceover, and I think there's about 10 minutes or so left in the video. So I will finish up all of the little like closing remarks, because I only think I have the gym to decorate after this, and maybe like the little playroom area. But before that, just want to say that I have started posting more pictures on Instagram if you would like to go follow me on there. I do have a Roblox group if you're interested in that sort of thing. I think it's linked in the description, maybe. I'll have to check. So there's that if you want it. We did hit 1,000 subscribers. Again, thank you so much for that. I honestly never thought that would happen. So I'm still just kind of in disbelief of it. But if you want to help out the channel, there's that. If you are watching this at this point, comment what your favorite room in the house is. I probably already said that for a past voiceover, but like, because I genuinely want to know generally what the favorite rooms in this house was. I love English, it just makes sense. With that being said, this is all I'm gonna talk for now. Again, thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
to say the things I should. But can you let me know all the ways to make it up? 'Cause I want this to be good. Don't let your heart wear out. I'm not the one that hurt you. Don't let it tear you down and touch me like you used to. So come back and fight it. thought it was stronger, keeping your distance. I thought we were better. We can try to just hide from the pain by building our castle. We can build them again and again, and we can feel nothing. And I know that you're feeling alone, and we can do better. So help me to break through the stone. Help me to break through. Something I'm losing.